Hello everyone, welcome to the video. I'm Trashy Transgender and today we are talking about Ball Race, which is a Tower Unite game. Before we get to that, we need to talk about the audio of this video. There's currently a red weather warning for wind in Scotland, which is caused by climate change. I hope you gamers believe in climate change. And yeah, the audio is a bit weird, but aside from that, it's certainly a video, and I hope you enjoy it. Anyway, let's get to that. Tower Unite is a game I love, and I talked about that in a previous video. Today I'm going to be focusing on a game within the game called Ball Race. This is Tower Unite's Monkey Ball clone and is the reason I bought Tower Unite in the first place. But is it any good? Well, without further ado, let's review Ball Race. Ball Race feels almost exactly like Monkey Ball with a few differences. You race to the end of levels in your ball while collecting watermelons instead of bananas. There are options to turn the watermelons into other things like bananas, pizza, and even beer, but I'm getting ahead of myself. The main levels are segmented into 11 to 15 individual courses, and the goal is to get to the end of these courses as quick as possible. There are also bonus stages in the middle of each level where you collect the most melons you can feasibly get within the time limit. It's also unlike Monkey Ball in the way that you don't move the map to progress, you move the ball instead. So is this a Monkey Ball clone? Yes, but not entirely. You earn units, the currency in the game, from playing Ball Race that can be spent on a variety of things in Tower Unite. You could use your currency to buy cosmetics for Ball Race or for any of the other games in Tower Unite. You could also spend your earned units on trinkets for your condo, or you could lose all your savings at the casino to your crippling gambling habit. And that's usually what I do. Oh. And this is a late addition to the script, but there are 3 golden melons to collect in every map. I only realized this by mistake collecting one while playing a map. I am not a completionist, so I collected these only randomly while playing, and the levels are already so difficult anyway, I don't find this a fun challenge. Ball Race supports co-op with up to 12 players, which you would think would be the ideal way to play because it turns the game into an actual race, but the co-op has some downsides. While yes, it is fun to race your friends and it adds a level of camaraderie to especially the more difficult levels, it also means that if one person succeeds and you lose all your lives, the game just moves on to the next level. Don't get me wrong, I get why they added this feature. It means that you're never stuck on one level for very long, but it would be neat if you could turn this option off. It would also be neat if you could turn off the time limit, as levels sometimes are so long that you only get one attempt, or in certain circumstances you're so close to being able to beat the level, but the time runs out. Sometimes I feel like I'm at war with my own script writing, because that was a really long run-on sentence. That was by no means a perfect take, but it's the one we're going to go with because I recorded that section so many times. This might be too much to ask, but I'd also like an option to have infinite lives so I could actually finish any of the more difficult levels at all. But the game, unlike the golf in Tower Unite, has no options, which I feel is a glaring oversight. The game supports workshop levels, but there are 13 levels already installed when you start the game, and those levels are what I'm going to be focusing on. I played all 13 levels to prepare for this video, and I have some thoughts. The levels are sectioned off into 4 categories of difficulty: easy, medium, hard, and very hard. Let's talk about each difficulty category and the levels within them. The easy levels are, at least to me, actually fairly challenging, but in a fun way. Paradise and Galaxy are my favourite of this category as they are fun to play and visually interesting. Galaxy reminds me of Rainbow Road with its flickering rainbow lights and its slightly difficult but fair gameplay, and is probably my most played Ball Race map out of all of them in the game. Paradise, while a bit more difficult than Galaxy, reminds me of classic Monkey Ball, with it visually looking like those games and also how it feels to play. Summit is the first level it suggests you play, and is the easiest to complete, but I love a good snow level, and this is a good one of those. Heavenscape is another fairly easy one, with my only complaint being that certain textured sides of bridges don't have any collision, leading to some confusing platforming sections. And then there's Woodlands, a quote-unquote easy level that at points isn't easy or fun at all. The level is styled to be the first level of the game, as it looks similar to, say, 1-1 of Mario, or more accurately, Green Hill Zone from Sonic. Let's talk about the first section, as I feel it hammers my point of this being a bad jumping off point for the level. Talking of jumping off points, the problem with the first section is there is a ramp that only sometimes works that you need to jump off to reach the next part of the course. Then there's the part after that with the thinnest bridge imaginable that takes you to the goal. I'll be real with you, I hate thin bridges in games, but to put one in your first level, honestly weird stuff. This is a bad introduction to Ball Race, and I see how it could turn off a lot of players. Oh, and then there's course 3, which has you choose between 2 branching paths, one which has a spinning thin bridge, which I find impossible to cross, and the other is a horrible pinball section, which almost feels luck-based. Oh, and level 5, with its horrible fan mechanic that is only in this level, which also is next to 2 pinball thingies that if you don't cross perfectly, which is really hard, knocks you back and kills you. I hate this fuck-ass fan mechanic, and again, I can see why after playing this level you wouldn't want to play any of the other ones. It being labeled as an easy level kinda feels like a piss take. While other sections of it are fine, those 3 sections took ages and really pissed me off. So yeah, if you want to get into Ball Race and see what it has to offer, play Summit first, not Woodlands. Or Galaxy. Galaxy's really good, guys. You should really play Galaxy first. If you take anything away from this video, play Galaxy. Galaxy's really good, and I don't just mean Mario Galaxy, even though that is also good. I think you should play Galaxy in Ball Race. It is really fun and visually interesting and great. This isn't in the script. I'm just rambling, and yeah, on to the next bit. Now we get to the medium levels. Event Horizon is fun, and it has a cool space-themed art style, and black holes as the goals. The star bouncing mechanic is a bit jank and only works sometimes, which is kind of annoying because it led to my boyfriend rage quitting the first time we played, but it's a good one in my opinion. Nimbus has you thinking with portals, a really cool mechanic that is creatively used, but visually the textures move in this horrible way that makes me think of badly made asset flips. Are there well-made asset flips? Probably not. Okay, I hope I said this right. Comidro is visually awful and plays like ass, and I hate it. That's all I have to say about it. Oasis is desert themed, and I like it. It's difficult in a way that isn't annoying and looks visually interesting, so it's good. Now we get to the hard levels. Memories is good. It's got one mechanic I hate though, the upside down sections. These sections don't work with the camera, and with the slippy ball controls, feel unforgiving. But overall, Memories is fun. The attractors and the repellers are integrated well, especially in the section where you run on top of them to get to the finish, and the art style is simple, but I vibe with it. Eruption is a pretty good one. You zoom through the courses as fast as possible, and it creates the flow state that I love in video games. But course 11 has a jump that is unfair and makes me want to delete the entire game, so 8 out of 10. Then there's the very hard levels, Prism and Midori. I'm gonna lump these two together because they are so unfair and punishing that I can't actually get through a single section of them. So in my opinion, if you're able to finish these levels without dying, you should get an achievement that says I am goated with the sauce, because for me, it's absolutely impossible to get through these levels, and whenever I play them with friends, we just get frustrated, leave, and then just play Galaxy again. I hate these levels, and I only played them here to show off just how hard they are. Big ups to Matt for playing them with me. So yeah, for some reason I just went through basically every level in the game, and I don't entirely know why I did that. And it probably ruined the flow of the video, but here's my tier list. I think that most all the levels are fun, but some have jank gameplay or physics in certain courses. This obviously excludes any of the levels ranked very hard, because those are so difficult to a point that is unfair because the game is already quite hard, and it feels like they are outright punishing the player for playing the game. I lumped the last two together, but I have to say Midori is the one that is the most guilty of this. I hate Midori. It exemplifies everything wrong with this game, like the jank physics, annoying sections that last too long, and terrible gameplay elements that detract from the overall flow of the game. Now, let's quickly talk about the workshop levels. The workshop integration, like with all of Tower Unite, is good. Creative levels are aplenty, and the sheer amount of them reminded me of the online in Little Big Planet karting. It was a nostalgic feeling scrolling through the levels on the workshop and finding some levels that were even better than the levels already in the game. I love the Steam Workshop, it'll always have a special place in my heart, and it works beautifully with this game. That brings me to the final topic of discussion, the customization. Of course, your player model is decided completely by you, which I think is one of the appeals of Ball Race and Tower Unite in general. Like, in the footage I recorded, I was Rouge the Bat at one point, I was also Sackboy, a Roblox noob, Ray Ainami, and even Lincoln Address, my true gender. But you can also buy different shapes for your ball, which I personally don't do because they look weird, especially the cube. It actually makes the gameplay harder too because I'm distracted by how stupid it looks. You can also get different materials for your ball. And some of these are hard to unlock, like the gold ball, which you can only get if you get 10 of a specific picture on a slot machine. This is, in my opinion, stupidly hard to unlock because slot machines are random as fuck, and I've played a lot of slots in my time in this game, and I've only won twice. Are people gonna tell me to get good at slot machines? Because, I don't know if that makes sense. I unlocked the rainbow ball while making this video, which was the one I was after all along. So even if the gameplay footage showed how bad I am at this game, at least it was worth it to get that ball. I love balls. Wait, am I still recording? Fuck! So yeah, I had a lot of fun making this video and playing all of the ball race levels, but there was some glaring issues with the game, like the physics and the outright terrible level design at points. It's a good way to make the in-game currency and has some fun moments, especially with friends, but the issues with the game design overall lead to some moments where I just found the game frustrating to play. The levels that are rated easy to hard are fun, with some exceptions, but the very hard levels are so difficult they are functionally unplayable for me. So I'm gonna give it the Stephanie Sterling score for Breath of the Wild. It's a 7 out of 10. So yeah, that's my review. Thank you for watching. Oh wait, I know why it's called Ball Race now. It's because when you ball race the balls race you. Glad I finally got the message of the game. Thank you, Miyamoto, for all you've done, but especially for Ball Race. So yeah, that was the video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope the audio wasn't too distracting, but I think I covered it up mostly with music, so I don't think there was any problems there. The video was about the same length as David Bowie's Black Star, you know, the song David Bowie's Black Star. And yeah, it's my longest video to date, and I hope you enjoyed it. And just before I go, just gotta thank 3 people. Finn, Matt, and David. Thank you, boys. You playing this game with me was very nice of you, especially Matt with those really hard levels, and it was just a fun time overall. So thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Goodbye.